Hey everyone, hoping you're having a great day. It's Grow with Joe here. Thursday. Can't believe the week is almost over. Oh man, when you start your own business, it's like a lot of time flies by really quickly. Um, Hold on a second, just getting the Facebook Live going. And then once I get the Facebook Live going, then I'll get the Instagram going. But I don't know. Nice day in Portland today. It's like 80 degrees, no humidity. Someone I was just talking to somebody that's in Washington or Baltimore, and that says like 90 degrees with 100% humidity. So yeah, I'd be sweating right now if I was outside over there, but no, it's just different. So got the Facebook Live going. So once that's up, I'll get the Instagram going. All right. Facebook is up. I'm going to record this on Instagram as well. All right. Once it's up. All right. All right. Hey everyone, it's Grow with Joe here. And if you don't know about Grow with Joe, it's a company that combines self-development coaching with financial planning. Because the way I see it is, in order to start investing, you need to have money. In order to have money, you need to have a good job. In order to have a good job, you need to be a competent individual. And John Wooden once said, your outer circle success will never surpass your inner circle success. So if you want the outer circle success of your career, your money, and your relationships, what you got to do is work on yourself first with your physical self, your mental self, your spiritual self, and your emotional self. So yeah, if you want A-level careers, then you need to have an A-level inner circle. And I have a quiz on my website at growwithjoe.me/quiz, which you just answer 56 questions, and it will tell you what your inner circle is. Is it an A, B, C, D, or an F? And then from there, it will give you the self-awareness on like saying, okay, this is what I have to start working on to help me get that A-level career, A-level relationships, A-level finances. And so just started a financial planning company on July 1st. So getting started with that. And just to bring more awareness about how to grow your inner circle, what I'm doing is talking about a chapter in this book, More You Know, More You Grow, how to get better every day. And today's a topic is you should never stop being a student. So Mahatma Gandhi once said, you should live life like you're going to die tomorrow, but learn like you're going to live forever. And from what I researched and everything, what most people do is they just, once they finish high school or college, they just stop learning. 60% of college graduates never read another book again. And that's a scary thought because 80% of what you learn from your technical skills will be obsolete within 5 years. So if you don't take any time to upgrade your skills at work or with your personal life, you're just going to start becoming obsolete. So that's why you have to always become the student. You have to maintain that mindset because it's just going to help you with the future. And the future is mostly it's an information-based economy. So whoever has the most information about their topic is going to win in this new society. So you have to ask yourself, how strong am I mentally to handle future problems? And in this new economy, you can't really focus on one thing. You kind of focus on 5 different things and stack those things on top of each other. And this is known as a concept known as talent stacking. You don't want to be the best in one field. You want to be like top 20% in 5 different fields. So this is a term that was coined by Adam Scott, who's the creator of Dilbert, the cartoon. So if you look at Dilbert, the cartoon, like Adam Scott is not the best drawer. He's not the best business person. He used to work in corporate America. and he's not the funniest person, but he's able to combine those three talents, comedy, drawing, and business, to create the comic Dilbert, and now he's the best at that intersection, and now he makes a pretty good living off the Dilbert comic strip. And that's the same thing that we got to do with our lives as well. That's kind of what I'm doing with Grow with Joe. Is I'm seeing like the field of financial planning has changed a lot over the last 30 years, and a lot of that has to do with the internet and the availability of information that people can get. And so what people need is, instead of getting analysis on like mutual funds and doing these other things, they need understanding like, okay, what do I have to do for my student loan? What is the best way to pay down my student loans? What's the best way to pay down my debt? What are like the best way to finance a new business? What's the best way to pay for my children's education? What's the best time to take Social Security? Am I tax efficient within my different investment accounts? What's the best way to pass money off to my heirs? Like, those are more complex questions than just dealing with the budget and just understanding like, okay, how did this mutual fund perform? But that's important. So you have to take that concept and apply it to other things. And in order to get the skills to do that, you really need to start working on yourself every single day. And financial planning, there's things that are constantly changing. So like with the new tax law change that happened in 2018, I had to be aware of that. There's some changes within student loans and how you can pay it off, which ones are the best ones to pay off, which ones you should keep. You just constantly have to, like, if I stop learning what I learned 5 years ago when I first got into this business, then I would not survive. But what I'm doing is I'm constantly being the student, and I'm trying to figure out, okay, hey, give me that problem. Let me go research and figure it out for you, because I want to be the expert in that field. And so I constantly have to be the learner. And that means I might have to learn skills in Excel, learn a new financial planning software, just so I can give clients a better service and make me more efficient. So if I can learn how to do a task in 15 minutes versus 2 hours, that's going to make me more efficient and make me more profitable, and just help me be able to see more clients. And the more people I can help out with financial planning, the better off the society, because if I help somebody with financial planning, they have more peace of mind and they're able to retire. So then they don't have to worry about relying on their kids or other programs to help them live a comfortable retirement. Then, hey, I did my job. And that's my goal is, okay, how can I help more people get the peace of mind of financial security? And this is important to me because, like, hey, my parents were blue collar workers. There was nobody there to really give them advice on like, hey, this is what you should do. I remember we had an aunt that passed away and gave my parents like a lot of money. I think it was like $80,000, $60,000. And where's that money now? It's not, because like you don't know what you don't know. And by like seeing with an expert, you can be like, hey, let's do this to help you get more financial security in the future. And like when you get that windfall, like most people don't know what to do. If you don't know what to do with it, what you're going to do is just spend it. And so like when it comes to your money, you should be a constant learner with your money. You got like, okay, I should go to know certain principles. Maybe you don't get in deep as like know on tax laws and like when's the best time to take Social Security for an expert, because that's not your field. If you're working as a dentist, that takes a lot of time, and you should do things that are going to help you become a better dentist in the future. Or if you're a business consultant, you do things that are going to help you with business. You don't want to spread yourself too thin, because you have to realize that the riches aren't niches. And there's a concept in economics called division of labor. You work on what you're best at, and I work what I'm best at, and then we trade our skills, and we're going to make the society's pie larger in terms of productivity. Instead of getting like 100 units of happiness, now we can have 1,000 units of happiness that we can spread out through society. And the only way we're going to able to increase that, the society's pie of productivity and happiness and everything, we just have to constantly be learners. And the way that we be constantly learners is we just start learning. So for example, every day I make it a priority to read at least 20 pages in a book. If I read 20 pages in a book, I'll read 24 books in a year. That's the minimum. My goal every year is 36 books a year because that's the average number a CEO reads every single year. And if I'm trying to be like a CEO, I better do what CEOs do, and that's read. I also take trainings. Like anytime I could take a training or a course, and I pay like $500, $1,000 and go through that course, I'm going to learn something and just to make me a better individual. Another thing I do is I listen to podcasts when I'm traveling here to the office. What I do is I put on a podcast and I learn to listen on double speed. And if I learn to listen on double speed, that means I can finish an hour podcast in 30 minutes. So then I can listen to 2 podcasts, learn twice as much in the same hour. And then somebody who's just listening on regular. So it takes time to work up to that. But by learning all those different things, it makes me, when I'm seeing different problems, like, oh, hey, that's going on over there. We should do this, this, and this to help resolve that issue. And I'm only able to think that way because I'm being a constant learner. And the one constant in this planet is change. There's things that are constantly changing. What you needed to know 5 years ago is much more different than you need to know today in 2019. And what you need to know 100 years ago is much different than you needed to know today. You could get away without knowing that much because there was not as much things to do 100 years ago. They didn't have the internet. They didn't have cars that have computers in them. Yeah, the world is a lot more complex today. And that's why we need to constantly be learners in our field. So that comes from working on yourself. Like I just did a podcast today about understanding human nature. You need to understand like what people's wants are, what their desires are, and then be able to interact with them without offending them or be able to persuade them to do certain things. Just explain to them like, hey, this might not be the best way to do something. Hey, have you ever thought of this? Like you can be doing it in a tactful way if you learn how to do so because you were a constant learner, or you could do it in a brash way that's really just going to shut people down. But yeah, that idea is like Warren Buffett once said that the more you learn, the more you earn. So we're in an information-based economy. So whoever has the most information on their topic and know how to share that information with others are really going to succeed in today's economy. And thank God we have like social media where we have Instagram, we have webinars and Facebook and podcasts and everything, because now you can share your information to show people that you are an expert in your field. And 20 years ago, 10 years ago, you didn't have that platform. So if you really wanted to spread your message, you had to go on newspapers and pay, and you wouldn't understand like how well your return on investment was. You could go on like put ads on television shows, but like how effective was that? And that cost a lot more money than it does today. But the downfall with that is now a lot more people can get in the field. Like to write this book, like I would 10 years ago, maybe even 5 years ago, I'm not really sure. I self-published this book, More You Know, More You Grow. Hardest part was just writing the book and editing it, but like to publish it was super easy. Like I just uploaded to the Amazon platform. It was CreateSpace at the time. Now it's called KDP, I believe. I think it's Kindle Direct Publishing. That's what the KDP stands for. You just upload it. They format it to get in this book. You review the PDF to make sure that it's good to go. And then once there's the green light, then you upload the cover art. I got this cover art done by my friend Steve Alfaro, great graphic designer. Go hire him. But like the reason why, if you kind of hard to see, but there's a mountain right there. It's supposed to be hard to see because that's supposed to represent your inner circle. You have to work on yourself. And the reason why there's a mountain in my logo and on the cover of this book is because of the word mediocre. The word mediocre comes from 2 words, medi, which means half, and ocris, which means rugged mountain. So if you're mediocre as a person, that means you're literally halfway up the mountain. And all your dreams and your desires are at the top of the mountain. So you're going to have to start taking action with your your personal development to help you get to the top of your mountain. And the way you get to the top of your mountain is you constantly learn on how to do things better. And that's what an education is all about. To me personally, is you get an education, so you get wisdom. And that with that wisdom, you can develop better strategies and tactics with your plan. And your plan is a decision to help cut away all the unimportant things from your life. And so to understand what are the unimportant things that you need to cut away from your life is you've got to learn. You don't know what you don't know. And so like what I used to thought was important back in the day is not important now because of what I learned. Like one of the things that I thought was important is like, oh, you need to buy a house. Like it depends. Everything in life depends. If you want to buy a house and you plan to live there in 30 years, you don't plan to go anywhere, then a house might be a good option because the break-even point for a house tends to be between 7 and 10 years. So if you move before 7 and 10 years, then you actually lost money. And then you also have to consider your opportunity costs in terms of time. Like do you now have to mow the lawn? Do you have to now buy a heater? Do you have to do all these things to help maintain the house? And is that something that you want to do with your off time? Like if you're a renter, you just call somebody up and they fix that thing for you. And like for myself, I plan to move around over the next couple of years. So like owning a home, owning a place is not really something that I'm interested at this moment. Maybe when I settle down and everything and I got a place like where I want to stay for the long time, then I was, but like one of the things I tell people is, and I tell myself, like, understand the deal before you accept the deal. Most people tend to accept the deal before they know all the different details that are required for you to take on that thing. So if you buy a house, now you have to take care of maintenance, now you have to pay taxes, now you have to do all these other things, and you get certain tax breaks, but with the new tax law, some of those have been removed. They're not as beneficial as they were in the past. But those are the things you got to know. And as a financial planner, I got to stay on top of those things. So when I'm advising a client, hey, they're getting the best information to help them to make the best decisions so that they can have a brighter future for themselves financially and just have more peace of mind. And so help them make better decisions. To help them make better decisions, I have to constantly learn. And that's why I'm reading every single day. That's why I listen to all these podcasts. That's why I do a lot of things to help. That's why we'll go to like seminars or conferences and everything just so I can learn and then meet other people and to see what they can teach me. And then hopefully I can teach them something as well. But yeah, that's what this chapter is about, is like, hey, what can I do to focus on this? The chapter is basically why you should just still be a constant learner, and like just gives you a good reminder about like what should you do as an individual. And we forget a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that you have to remember, and it's good to give daily reminders, like say, hey, this is what I should be doing. Oh, I haven't done that in a while. I should probably get back into doing that thing. And yeah, we all need reminders. I need a reminder. And that's why I'm doing these videos, just to give you a reminder, like, oh, I should really do that with my life, because it will make my life that much better. So if you want a copy of this book right here, More You Know, More You Grow, you can get it for free. All you have to do is pay for shipping and handling. You just go to growwithjoe.me/book, and you can get a copy shipped right out to you. Plus, when you get that book, you're also going to get my top 15 books to change your life, my top 15 podcast episodes to give you a better mindset, and my top 15 YouTube videos to motivate you when times get tough. So you get that report as well when you get a copy of this book. And yeah, if you have any questions about how to be a constant learner, or you want some tips on how to get what is a really good book to read, like one of my favorite books to read is The Obstacles Away by Ryan Holiday. That's a book you should read every single year. Another book you should read every single year is The Alchemist. That's a really good book that teaches you how to persevere on your goals. The Obstacles Away is a great book to teach you how to overcome obstacles in your life. So yeah, you don't learn those lessons unless you become a constant learner, and you should always be the student. that don't ever stop being a student in this new economy. It's not going to work out for you. Because you got to remember that time and decay move in the same direction. So if you don't want any energy into your mental self, you're just going to start decaying with time. So you constantly have to put energy into your mental self, and you do that by learning, reading books, listening to podcasts, watching YouTube videos, going to conferences, just asking questions. So once again, get a free copy of this book, More You Know, More You Grow. Just go to growwithjoe.me/book. And just pay for shipping and handling. Also, if you're interested in a financial consultation, just reach out to me through Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, or send me a message through there. Or you can send me an email at info@growwithjoe.me. Or you can check out my website, growwithjoe.me, for more information about like what I do as a financial planner. So hope you enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. And remember, if you go with Joe, you can grow with Joe, because Joe knows dough. All right, take care, everyone.